This is a recap of the volunteer day that me and Rachel did in Lebanon, Tennessee. This is after the March 2020 tornado that came in the middle of the night. It took 24 lives, most of which came from Putnam County, in which 18 of those lives were from Putnam County. Seeing these homes, just the pillars in the front of the houses destructed, roofs missing, all of that is beyond, comprehension for most of us, because we fortunately have never had this happen. So, although much effort's being done to clear the roads, clear the debris out of the yards, and we're making great progress. I mean, this town, you can see how much of it throughout this video has just already been patched up with tarps on the top, debris up front. But those that were truly affected, or they are very thankful for the power being restored, the homes being cleaned up, but those stuff that's going on that we can't comprehend about the emotion in. Could you imagine being asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning and your roof being torn apart, if not even just completely removed? Those are things that you only are truly affected when it truly happens to you. So if you are able to be there for somebody, to just go talk to them and just be there for them, let them just vent, those insecurities out, that fear that hopefully none of us ever have to go through. Just don't make light of it, because it is a serious thing. This is trauma. The security of most of us have is going you home, whether it be brick and mortar or a van or an RV or a trailer, whatever you live in. You have the security. Once you lock your doors at night, you're safe. And these people don't quite have that feeling. You can read studies about people being robbed, how they feel insecure in their home for quite a while. So these people having the same emotional battles. So don't make light of that. If you have the ability to do counseling, please do it. If you just can be a good friend, be a good friend. Those driving around, you're just going to see so much damage, and it's just such a hit or miss. Tornadoes are such a phenomenal thing that if you're on the path, things go south real quick. But if you're just blocks away, you may not be affected physically at all. But to be that close.
Siding on the front of that house.
Oh, wow. Sure did.
Oh, that house is missing its roof.
Whoa, seriously.
You can just see just the section of the house completely
I wonder where that
removed.
roof went.
So please just, take those into consideration. What's been really cool is the foundations in Tennessee have been getting overwhelmed with donations financially and just volunteer man hours. So it's really cool to see everybody stepping up and trying to help clean up as best of their ability.
Trump 2020. Put that in code on there.
If you look to the far right, really see the photo, the house there will insert a photo. But yeah, so they're trying to make light of the situation.
They also used the Shell gas station sign up there. You see how it's nailed down?
Oh, yep. That house behind there.
I got a big old piece of Osage orange.
Osage orange, is that what it's
Black
called?
lemon tree.
So Rachel and I did this driving after we volunteered during the morning time. So,
You're right about the power lines. They are just... Wait, why is that power line attached to that house?
Gotta get power to the house.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, it doesn't just magically go.
Well,
Some people bury it, but that costs money.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, I haven't generally seen that be the case. Okay. Wow, this house actually looks like it hasn't been hit. It's just crazy, I'm freezing.
Stuck a fence in here.
They went,
All that fencing.
oh, it's fencing. Wow, it's very organized.
it's It's amazing what the homeowners and volunteers did, just how well they cleaned up. You know, everybody took pride in what they did. I mean, stacking that stuff.
I just have to wonder who did most of this. Was it the residents just doing it around the house?
Well, I could have groups of volunteers like what we did.
I hope some residents did get some volunteers.
So as you see, this neighborhood was drastically affected, but the volunteers and homeowners have already got it cleaned up. And so it was awesome to see that much pride going into it. You know, these are neat stacks that people were doing too. The National Guard building is across the street there. It was affected too. You could see where the flashing and stuff had been removed. But yeah, these tarps are just everywhere on all these homes. And so I don't know if volunteers or construction companies came out, but people came out and got these tarps on there quick. This place is cleaned up really, really well. They got to the point in Tennessee they even told people to take a day off because the volunteering had made such great progress. And so that's such an unusual thought to hear. This is just a small little glimpse of how many service vehicles that we saw that were from professional companies. And I should have took note of how far away some of these license plates were from. But you can see those professional companies were out everywhere throughout the town. So that's just a small section of what we saw. This that building with the flags made me think of Tennessee Strong. And it's just interesting how close these RVs are to some of the damage. And you know, you always think of an RV being a weak structure.
Ooh, that church got it.
But you see the church across the street got destroyed, but the RVs were untouched. So it's just, you know, it's a matter of being in the path or not. These buildings all had flashing damage.
Wow, yep. Well, that place is completely... Wow, you're right. Man, I'm sorry, is Lowe still open? Yes, it is.
Of course, yeah. This is the entire sign's missing.
Right, as I'm saying, I'm like, man, their roof is missing and their sign's missing and they're still somehow open.
They kind of need to be, you know, kind of the go-to place for people.
That's true. Yeah, it's funny. For them, it's not even just all about the money. It's actually their community needs them right now.
So I give Lowe's a lot of props for that, because yeah, they sustained a lot of damage, but even though they went through all that damage, they still remained open. I didn't walk through it.
Now hiring a maintenance/driver. I think that was
Just look how massive that tarp is. You can actually see people standing tying down that tarp. That sign actually had a help on it, and we was wondering, was that posted before the storm or after the storm, where they want just help for the
Those are the tough ones there.
restaurant,
Because it's, you know,
or was they wanting help to repair things?
They got what insurance do and everything. But the other one's like, okay, it's complete loss.
But they still get, I guess they still have to lose all the business, right? For weeks. No insurance to probably cover that.
Right.
Well, that does stink.
If you know the answer to that question, does insurance pay for business loss due to the damages? I'm sure you have to add it specially, but if you know anything about that, please put a comment below.
Oh yeah, we did see this.
This Jack in the Box's sign is completely blown out. So this is just a section of the people That was just a small glimpse of how many people were here to volunteer. So it's really cool to see that many people show up on a cold, windy morning.
How's your ears feel?
Actually, they hurt already. We were outside for probably 35 minutes, just like waiting on the bus, and they hurt. And the real work hasn't begun yet.
So the police escorted every school bus to the site. They had one in the front, one in the back to make sure the school buses had clear paths to get there. This is another part of town that you can see the tarps all over the homes. So this is the site me and Rachel was at. It's the Wilson County Fairgrounds. I'm right next to the church, and then I was right next to this house. Rachel and someone else was carrying a heavy bag to dump to the road. And then check this out. This is what's really wild is look at all these strangers just working together to carry this gigantic piece of gutter. It's not a heavy item, but you just see how big and awkward that thing is. So for them to all just team up together and do that, it's really cool and magical. It came off of that tan house there. If you look, you notice it does not have a roof. I'm not 100% positive about this, but I'm like 99% positive the church owns this house, because it does not seem like there's clothes or toys or pictures on the wall, so it does not seem like it has the emotional value of a typical home. So I think it was just used as a ministry outreach for them. Maybe they did classes there, or maybe they just, when they had some missionaries or other people that need, or people in hard on time, they could use that, because it did not look like someone lived there permanently. But I could be wrong. The tornado could have vacuumed everything out of there, but it just seemed a little too empty to be lived in. So that's a good thing that walking this, it was empty feeling. They say these interior walls of like your bathroom usually your safest place, just for just a matter of, the most interior part you get. It's wild to just kind of look through a house and see outside of it just so clearly. The roof is just vacuumed off. It's just such an amazing amount of power that these things do. It's just so interesting to see how it can do that, but so much of this is still just kind of left untouched. This was the detached garage they had. You'll see one wall right there is missing. It just fell over completely. But the structure is still standing, so that was really neat to see the structure holding up. But one wall is completely missing.
Yeah. Sorry. No, but this was starting to choke me up, all the little flurries in the air, so.
So the little flurry she was talking about was the insulation from the house. It really affects you if you start throwing it around. It gets your lungs all agitated. So if you can take a mask with you, I highly advise it.
He was sitting at the top of that building, flashing.
Yeah.
This was once up there, floating into the fire lane.
Even though that apartment was affected, they opened up their community for us to use it for a restroom, and they even gave us donuts while we visited them. So that was really cool to just kind of see.
What time is it?
Like 10:30?
I think he was supposed to arrive at 10, never mind.
Oh, you think it's the president?
No, it's a little late.
Maybe it's just some security in the air for him.
Yeah.
I really loved Rachel's enthusiasm. Oh, it's the president. That was really cool. So this video didn't turn out like I didn't figure it would, but you get that power line. While we was working there, they was raising up the line and stuff. It's really neat to see them work. And also, While we was there, they got it too tight, so they had to back it up real quick. So they wanted us to kind of back out of the section since it was lowering it back down. But a lot of your just cleanup job, once that big massive stuff's moved out of the way, is you got all these little nails and sheets of plywood and insulation that needs to be picked up. It's not glamorous, but it needs to be done. I threw a branch here, and Rachel didn't know it, so you just saw her perk up. She thought that power line had snapped. Yeah, we spent a good bit of our day just picking up small debris, and a lot of people did too. Even like these trees that are down, it's going to be so much time invested in trying to get them up and out. Look, you would think it'd be easy with today's modern equipment, but you know, our trees are so strong. Even the big powerful piece of equipment like this has to hit it just right or it won't fall apart. And so yeah, he just spent a lot of time cleaning up. Here's another tree that's just down. So much time is going to be spent just removing trees, and then you got to haul all that debris off. Ain't no telling how many tons and truckloads of debris just going to be shipped out. Not to mention all these little bags of us picking up stuff.
Like killing the tree. I wonder how many decades ago those were there. Those are transformers.
So Christmas lights are very special to us, so I was excited when I saw them.
So I think it's a place to hang out under the shade tree.
Oh,
Because it was an Eagle project.
that's nice.
So not everything was a house or a business that was affected. Even just like these community hangout centers, this tree has been greatly affected. So that means that entire structure is altered. Luckily that tree survived, but it did sustain damage, so that platform's not the same as it once was. So yeah, those masks, people really was jealous of Rachel's mask. So yeah, if you got a mask, take it. Luckily, we have a construction background, so we keep many of those.
You know, when I had to do that by hand, when I hit it and hit it and hit it and compact it, that's what that machine is.
That's really cool.
So we just got done volunteering. We had a huge feast afterwards. I personally had a chicken sandwich and a barbecue sandwich. We got a bag of chips here that I will eat later. And they gave us soda, and they had some really good corn. Rachel had the chicken sandwich, a hamburger, and corn. And she also had a really good slice of pizza. She's just now getting back. What'd you go do, Rachel?
I dropped off the sodas.
Why'd you drop off those sodas?
I didn't like them, okay? But still, I had them in the car. But someone else might like them.
So what did you do for volunteer? Because it wasn't recording a minute ago.
None of that was recording?
No, so what'd you do?
Dang, well, we spent a couple of hours
What was you picking up?
picking up shingles.
Good job. Earlier she was saying I was picking up roofs.
Roofs.
She picked up so many roofs, guys,
So
all by
many.
herself.
No, it was so many shingles of a roof of a house that had been pretty much destroyed that I think Daniel got footage of. And we were out there for like 2 hours. And there was like 30 to 40 of us, and we barely basically got this one house area cleaned up. So it's kind of overwhelming, like how much work, how many volunteer hours are going to be needed to clean up after this tornado. I mean, it's multiple cities and so many houses and trees down, and I mean, like I said, what is that, like 30, let's say over 35 times 2 hours, 70 hours of volunteer work just went into that area just to get it moderately picked up. That's what we did.
Do the little jingle now for the train.
Time. Are we going that way?
Rachel didn't know. Actually.
Can you make it? should try. It says stop. Oh, no. It's right there. Oh, goodness sakes.
Look at the speed
Right
he's
in
going.
front of the police station. Here come the popo, I'm sure.
Well, they have plenty of time to make it across too.
He just did that. He just broke the law right in front of the police station.
Look, where's the train at? Has he crossed
We
yet?
literally just...
Rachel, has the train even hit the tracks yet?
It doesn't matter. It's still breaking the law right in front of the police station. But...
So it's only wrong because it's in front of the police
No,
station.
I'm just saying, like, what is wrong with you? But, back to this and more important things. So, after we got done volunteering for a couple hours, we went back to the police station, where we just were, and there was so much food. I mean, it was incredible. For breakfast, I mean, they literally were giving out, like, hot breakfast, like scrambled eggs, coffee.
Hash browns.
Yeah, hash browns. Was it donuts? Muffins.
Muffins and donuts.
Oh, was there donuts? I didn't see that.
And where we went to the Lowe at the apartment, they gave us donuts.
Yeah, they had a box of donuts, and I bet it was for volunteers. It was just, I'm like, it was just so sweet, the generosity. So many people pitching in. It's almost overwhelming. It's overwhelming how many hours are going to be needed, but then it's like kind of overwhelming how many people are dropping everything in their busy lives to try to be involved in this is also really cool. Because it just seems like we're all so busy so much, but somehow people are finding half a day or a whole day to come do this.
Cool old big truck.
Oh yeah, that is cool. Tennessee strong. Oh, I like that. That's good because the Nashville is really only about Nashville.
You know what, Rachel?
What?
You deserve this.
Is that what it says? Thanks.
What did you say, Rachel?
But look at that tree broke down.
Is that
Tornado.
look at that tree with its natural sign on it?
I mean, it could be a post, but it's made out of a tree.
Yeah,
Look at it.
tree down.
It's clearly made out of a tree. Okay, but it is a post, but still, whatever. Museum of History Museum and History Center. Wow. It's sometimes hard to tell what sign this is. Like, did it rip off your sign, or is your sign just kind of stink? And I mean, like Shoney's. It looks like it ripped off the paint off their letters, but I don't think it did. I think it might just be a bad sign.